Hey guys, welcome back to Margot Watches Movies. My name's Jake Margot, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing a film, what I consider to be the best film of director Joseph Kosinski's career, in anticipation of F1 releasing this week, Top Gun Maverick. Now, this is one of the greatest legacy sequels of all time. This is a film notorious for saving Hollywood. We've seen industry icons like Steven Spielberg on camera telling Tom Cruise, "You have saved Hollywood and saved theaters." And this was amidst a on the downside of the global pandemic. Hollywood was at an all-time low as far as box office numbers, and Top Gun Maverick quite literally roared onto the scene, making over $1.5 billion and revitalizing cinemas. Now, as we have finally started to see theater and box office projectors come back somewhat to normal, we're not probably ever going to reach those 2017, 18, 19 levels, but when a movie is good and it is original, as we've seen with a film like Sinners this year, audiences are still turning out. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes of why I think this film is so wonderful. And if you've never seen Top Gun Maverick for whatever reason, it's on Paramount Plus, though if you have 4K capabilities, this is one of the movies I would highly, highly recommend investing in 4K disc. You will get no better version at home than Top Gun Maverick on 4K. But if you don't have those capabilities or you don't want to spend $30 on a movie, watch it on Paramount Plus. Now, what makes Top Gun Maverick such a fantastic film, besides the obvious, which is unrelenting, high stakes, superbly shot action, aerial combat like we have never seen in a movie before, is the quiet moments between the big, boisterous set pieces. The script, with help from longtime Cruise collaborator Christopher McQuarrie, director of the last 4 Mission Impossible films, we allow these characters to grow and gain dimensions. I think some of the more iconic scenes of this film have nothing to do with the spectacular aerial action seen behind me, but in those quiet, lingering moments with the characters. Jennifer Connelly, after a date, who, by the way, has aged like a 1963 Chateau Margaux. She is one of the most beautiful women of all time, and she is a scene stealer in this film. But we have those iconic scenes like her after a date with Tom Cruise's Maverick, walking into her home and leaving the door open. We have the emotionally devastating scene between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer's Iceman. And this was the first time I've rewatched this film in a post Val Kilmer world. And even wanting to speak on it right now, I feel a little emotional. It's such an impactful scene right at the midway point of the movie that when you factor in the real world implications behind it, along with the handling of his funeral later on, it is truly one of those special movie scenes, one of the better scenes in a long time, I think. And it had no right being that good. It could have very easily teetered into corniness, but they hit such a resonating and powerful note in that scene. It really was an affecting scene where I'm feeling emotional right now just talking about it. And Val Kilmer, a magnificent actor, giving one of the best performances of the 90s in Tombstone as Doc Holliday. And he really gets a send-off here for the ages. And it's those moments like this that really separate this movie. Now, you could take those scenes out. You could take out the romance plot between Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly's Penny, her daughter, who is endearing and charming in limited scenes. And this movie would still work as just a sheer white-knuckled American bravado, hoorah, man's man of a movie. But I think the elements of adding in the romance made this such a crowd-pleasing film that appealed to all audiences, something that my mother would call one of her favorite films, a movie that she went and saw in theaters, and she never goes to the theaters. This is just one of those movies that captured every aspect of what makes a blockbuster have wide range appeal, and it does it at such a high level. It's almost flexing at times. And when you're in the cockpits of these fighter jets with these hotshot alpha male and female pilots, the best of the best, between the witty dialogue, the trying to one up each other, the competitiveness that drives these hot shots that decide to get behind one of the most dangerous weapons ever created. You have Joseph Kosinski, the upcoming director of F1. And one of the reasons I'm so excited about that film is he shoots these scenes in such an immersive way that you get sucked into the action. And it's as close to feeling like you will be behind the cockpit window of an F-18 that anyone could hope for from the comfort of their home, or if you were lucky enough to see this in the theaters. And the other thing I'll say about this film is I think this was probably the fourth time I've watched it now, and I think I have enjoyed it more each subsequent viewing. And this is a film that could have so easily just run back a greatest hits of every scene from the first Top Gun, the Tony Scott classic. And they pick and choose. There's definitely moments like the beginning, you kick off with Kenny Loggins' Highway to the Danger Zone. And following that emotionally devastating scene with some of the best acting Tom Cruise has done in ages, by the way, between him and Val Kilmer, they're smart enough to ease us with one very tiny bridge scene of John Hamm looking around and no one's around to what basically replaces the iconic beach volleyball scene from the first Top Gun. And Joseph Kosinski shoots this football scene with a brewing sense of camaraderie and understanding that this group, through a very smart bit of teaching from now instructor Maverick, are growing as teammates. Something that is vitally important to the success of the mission. And just like any team sport, you have to have chemistry, you have to have camaraderie in order to succeed. You cannot just have a bunch of ego-minded people all thinking that they are the star player. You have to have players understanding their role. You have to have locker room guys. You have to have guys that are cheering from the bench, that know when it's their turn to come in, even if for limited minutes, they are going to deliver the results. And of course, you have the stars. And the stars of this film, for me, are going to be obviously Tom Cruise. You have Miles Teller's Rooster playing the son of Goose. And there's a very, very powerful connection and really like a starting block of tension as that relationship builds towards this crescendo and wonderful climax between him and Maverick. And then you have Glenn Powell, who took this role and springboarded it now into stardom. He is a budgeting superstar in Hollywood and very close to being a household name. And his character, Hangman, in this movie, who is very much playing the Iceman role, the highly ultra-competitive semi-antagonist to Rooster. And his character arc culminating in a wonderful, crowd-pleasing moment in the last second to save Tom Cruise, his Maverick, and Rooster. This is just one of those films that are special and care was put into every frame. These are talented, unbelievably talented individuals in the industry working at their highest peak level. And I truly think that this movie will get better in time. It's a timeless film in a lot of ways, because we're at that point now where when you shoot practically, along with where cameras have come, the fact that Kosinski chooses to shoot the action straightforward and clear, everything in frame, there's no shaky cam. Now you see the plane shaking, and the editing is so quick, where he's shifting between shots as these planes are flying around. And it's just, again, to repeat myself, a immersive filmmaking. And I think there's so many standout scenes in this film. You have the opener with this wonderfully lit, with the night sky as Tom Cruise tries to hit Mach 10 to save a program. The beach volleyball scene, Val Kilmer, the scenes between Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly. The scene of Tom Cruise stealing an F-18 and doing the trial run of their mission to ensure and to prove, and leading by example, as a true leader does, that they have to do it this way or they will not make it out alive. And then, of course, the climax with Rooster going back to save Maverick after their triumphant run. Their run, by the way, that mimics recent real-life events in a weirdly accurate bit of foreshadowing regarding the recent annihilation of, or at least alleged annihilation. At the point of I'm reviewing this, we aren't fully sure, but we did get a tweet that a ceasefire will happen between two countries. But that the mission itself is so weirdly foretelling of what just happened in recent geopolitics. It's weird. And the movie went out of its way to not have a specific bad guy. It's an unnamed country with an unnamed plutonium enrichment underground bunker in this mountainous region. And we just experienced that in real life, down to the T. Everything about this mission it's like they took this movie as a playbook and ran it, which is just weird. But damn it, does this movie not make you feel like a patriot, man? If you want to call this film propaganda, it is great propaganda. I had to throw the USA shirt on to review this movie. So, all in all, Top Gun Maverick, what it's able to achieve as a legacy sequel, how it's able to surpass the original in every way, but like maybe 80s schmaltziness and like good cheesiness. This is just one of those films that linger in the mind and are imminently and are rewatchable in every sense. This movie I could easily watch once or twice a year for the rest of my life. So, keeping that in mind, it doesn't quite reach the most perfect pinnacle of movies off my review scale, which will be pinned in the description, but this is the highest high end of all-time classic. Top Gun Maverick is an all-time classic. And at the end of what has been an illustrious 40, 50, 60-year career, this could end up being Tom Cruise's best film. So I am hyped for F1 after watching this movie. I think the immersion that Kosinski has figured out with this film is going to do wonders for F1, and getting to see the contrast of really the last two all-time movie stars, maybe three if you count Leonardo DiCaprio. But Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, getting to see the contrast of Tom Cruise in this movie to how Brad Pitt will handle F1. I'm very excited. So let me know what you guys think of Top Gun Maverick in the comments below. Give me a subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. I just hit my second video with over 100 views, which sounds ridiculously small, but it feels good. And I thank everyone who has continued to watch this channel, like my videos, and the friends and family who are pushing me forward and telling me to keep doing it. I appreciate you. So Top Gun Maverick, it's a phenomenal movie. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But as always, this is Margot Watches Movies. My name is Jake Margot. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.